This is 93.7 Citizen FM, Abuja.
The time is 4 o'clock.
Time for news on the hour.
Lagos State Government.
Latest radio station.
The time is 4 o'clock. Welcome to Citizen FM News from across the states. I am Didi Eno. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has called on stakeholders to lead the fight against total eradication of tuberculosis. Governor Sanwo-Olu made the call at a dinner with private sector community on domestic resource mobilization to end TB in Nigeria. The event was organized by Stop TB Partnership Nigeria as part of high-level mission on domestic resource mobilization to end TB in Nigeria. The governor at the event emphasized that tuberculosis is the 13th leading cause of death and second after COVID-19. He said it is no longer news that Nigeria is the sixth among the countries of the world with high prevalence of TB and second in Africa. The governor charged the general public and stakeholders to go out and champion the cause to end tuberculosis in Nigeria. The Ondo State government has ordered the arrest of 2 persons who were alleged to be parading themselves as traditional rulers of Oderele town, the headquarters of Irele local government area, and the monarch of a community of the Okitipupa local government area. The government said the 2 were allegedly parading themselves as monarchs without the approval of the State Executive Council. The State Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Bamidele Olateju, stated this after the State Executive Council meeting. She, however, did not mention the names of the suspects. And to Kaduna, the military troops of Operation Hadarindaji have recorded a major success in the ongoing fight against terrorism, kidnapping, and other forms of criminality in the northwest zone of the country. Director, Defense Media Operation Major General Musa Dammadami made this known while briefing newsmen on achievements recorded by Nigerian military troops across the nation. He noted that a coordinated joint operation by the land and air components, terrorist enclaves around Chikun local government area of Kaduna State were engaged. Intelligence revealed that the terrorists had planned to attack villages within the vicinity where they were operating. Consequently, the military troops leveraged on the report and conducted clearance operation against the terrorists, resulting in the neutralization of several of the terrorists, while others fled with severe gun wounds.
In the recent development, between 16th to 18th August 2022, the air component of Operation Hadarindaji conducted air interdiction operations at Rugu Forest in Safana local government area of Katsina State and within Zamfara State, as well as some villages in Kebbi local government area of Sokoto State on terrorist hideouts and enclaves. The air interdiction operation was in response to intelligence reports on the gathering of terrorists in the forest. Consequently, the hideouts and enclaves were bombarded and several terrorists were neutralized.
And now to reports from other parts of Nigeria, Zamfara. The state government is calling on the federal government to connect the state with foreign investors for optimum utilization of the numerous mineral resources. Babangida Zulmir said the Deputy Governor, Hassan Nasiha, made the appeal during an investment stakeholders meeting organized by the Indian government in Nigeria. Zamfara State Deputy Governor Hassan Nasiha said Zamfara is naturally blessed with high deposits of gold, iron ore, tantalite, zinc, copper, and gypsum, among numerous other solid minerals. He added that generally, both metallic and non-metallic resources that abound were untapped in almost all the 14 local government areas of the state. He assured the Indian government Zamfara is willing to partner with them, not only in the area of mineral resources, but in other areas of human and capital development. The Adamawa State House of Assembly is set to transmit a bill for a law to provide for the mandatory drugs, alcohol, and other illicit substance testing for participants for appointment, employment, and school admission. After deliberations, observations, and recommendations on the report today, the Speaker, Aminu Abbas, who presided over the session, put the motion to the effect into voice vote. He directed the Chairman, House Committee on Rules, Business, Ethics and Privileges to schedule the bill for the third reading during any convenient legislative sitting. He also directed that the bill should be forwarded to Governor Amadou Bentir for assent. And Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa says it would require collective effort of all Nigerians to develop the country. The governor made the call while addressing traditional rulers in the state at the Traditional Rulers Council Secretariat in Asaba. He said Nigerians had a great role to play in living peacefully in unity, as no meaningful development could take place without peace. Governor Okowa lauded the traditional rulers for ensuring that peace prevailed in their various kingdoms and regretted that he had not been able to meet them as regularly as he wished. He also urged Nigerians to live in peace in order to help in rebuilding trust in the nation. The House of Representatives Committee on Commerce has described the process to concession the Calabar Free Trade Zone as a positive approach to unleash the full potentials of the zone and to significantly boost the country's economy. Representative Richard Bandi, deputy chairman of the committee, said this when he led members on an inspection tour of the zone in Calabar. A statement issued by Martin Zode, head Corporate Communications Nigeria Export Processing Zones Authority, quoted the representative as saying that it would stimulate industrialization and economic growth. The lawmaker representing Katsina-Lokum Federal Constituency of Benue State also explained that the public must understand reason that the federal government adopted the Free Trade Zone scheme. He explained that it is basically aimed at encouraging industrialization. He, however, added that the scheme required a long period of sustained funding to yield any significant benefit to the country. A federal high court in Abakaliki has nullified the July 30 local government area elections in Ebonyi. The exercise, which took place in the 13 local government areas and 171 wards in the state, was swept by the All Progressives Congress and was conducted by the Ebonyi State Independent Electoral Commission. Reports said some members of the Inter-Party Advisory Council boycotted the polls due to the 1 million naira and 200,000 naira nomination fees for the chairmanship and governorship seats, respectively. The group thereafter approached the court in a suit to nullify the outcome of the elections. In a judgment, Justice Patum Rehman declared the elections null and void. The judge also described the exercise as undemocratic and unlawful. And speaking with newsmen after the judgment, the counsel for the petitioner, Moody Erenedi, hailed the court for its sound judgment. NRD said it is unlawful to conduct the local government areas elections without availing the petitioner with the extant laws meant to regulate the exercise. And to Enugu, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Umudike in Abia State, says it is rejecting the salary proposed by the federal government. In a statement issued by the body and signed by the chairperson, Ogwene, and Secretary Mweye, they said the decision was based on the government's repudiation of the collectively bargained agreement on August 16 by the federal government and ASU Renegotiation Committee, which was chaired by Professor Nimi Briggs. At the meeting, the federal government presented a recommended consolidated academic salary structure, awarding increase of 35% to 25% of current salaries to professors and other ranks, respectively. And they noted that the award is unilateral and a total breach of the provisions of all national and international legislation on which the collective bargaining agreement is based. And that was Citizen FM News from across the state as compiled by Uchechi in Lemoa. To listen to us online, please visit citizenfm.ng. I am Didi Eno. News Roundup is up next.
Hello, Abuja. You are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM. This is our journey. We have had our finest moments and our darkest hours. Yet we pull ourselves back from the brink every time. We are a resilient people. We are Nigeria. And when we talk, we share our views on Talk Radio 93.7 Citizen FM. A people united will never be defeated.
Abuja, plus including our surrounding areas. The freshest family magazine Jollyman program. When the Sabias waiting they play. Don't chale for una Bonga Radio, Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. And you know what? Una freshest Owerri tomatoes. Night and that to the give una fresh story. We go take you back memory lane. Plus including make your belly be sugar industry. For waiting they play, no dull moment from the beginning to the end of the 1 hour program. Waiting they play with the freshest Owerri tomatoes every Saturday and Sunday, 12 noon to 1 p.m. for Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. Waiting they play. Sit down, listen, hear waiting they play.
Once upon a time, for one village where they for air, everything they go well. Them they enjoy better things until them great grandpillar them tell them say he get one secret where they for inside calabash, for inside bush. Elders them gather, them send them more inter bush, impact in Ngongo and Njanja, take inside bush. When you see the calabash, where them papa hide for inside bush. Time to open the calabash, more hard than knack. Last, in open the calabash. What's in me the secret where you come see?
As we bring them out, Abuja how far? Hashtag man up, tab yans, mind your language. That's here, and the plenty gadget betterment mixed with correct Naija song. Now them they inside Evening Jollof with SMO 1 Radio Street Brief for 93.7 Citizen FM Abuja. Flex Evening Jollof Monday to Friday from 5 o'clock for evening go reach 9 o'clock for night. Evening Jollof with SMO 1 for 93.7 Citizen FM.
We Time with Ekenezekwe is a program where we deliberate on issues, analyze issues, and come up with the best solutions on the subject matter. We Time with Ekenezekwe comes up every Saturday by 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 90.7 Citizen FM Abuja. We Time with Ekenezekwe, our time.
The issues.
Everybody respected that because it was coming from the president.
Purely behind it, the way the people took the battle in their hands. Some civil servant retired without a roof over his age.
The cause.
If we cannot trust you, then you cannot take the ticket of this country. Hussein cannot be divulged from those who cause the crime. Honestly.
The passion.
You must have national spread. So where is it?
Why are you so concerned about that?
He said money was...
I never...
No.
The platform is always the same.
Insight on Citizen FM 93.7.
The source is constant.
My name is Lawrence Umoite.
There is always an opportunity.
Tomorrow Insight returns with another interesting...
Insight with Lawrence Umoite on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. Be part of the experience.
Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Make we join our hearts to build a nation of our dream. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Your problem is my problem, and my joy is your joy. Epa! Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Make we join our hearts to build a nation of our dream. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Your problem is my problem, and my joy is your joy. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Make we join our hearts to build a nation of our dream. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Your problem is my problem, and my joy is your joy. Epa!
The heart of Abuja, and it is 16 minutes gone past 4 p.m. Yeah, that's what the time is. The date is the 26th day of August 2022. I'm here again. I am Didi, and it's time for News Roundup. I'm wondering how your day is going. Great, right? I want to believe so. First of all, I like the weather. It's been so good the last couple of days or weeks. Well, I can't say weeks because I think one or two of those days in the last week we had like just some very not so great weather, but in fairness, it's been good generally. Let's just say, generally speaking, it's been really great. I hope your weekend is starting off on a good note. Had a bad news today. I'm so sorry about that. Your day coming on great. Hey, great stuff. Good to know. You got something signed? Hey, congratulations to you. Had a great news today. Amazing stuff. Not so great. Keep holding on. Everything will turn out just fine. Okay? Keep holding on. All right. So let's get started now. What's happening today, the 26th day of August 2022? It is Women's Equality Day. Very historic one. Yeah, we're marking that day, and we join women. Join me. I'm a woman. So we join the rest of the world to celebrate Women's Equality Day. Now, what does it mean? It means that women got the right to vote, on this particular day, especially in the United States of America. So it is observed on August 26th to commemorate the right of women to vote in the U.S. So it's not always been easy. You know, when people come on radio and say, hey, go get your PVC. Well, there was no PVC at the time, but go get stuff that would allow you to vote. They were talking just about just two men at one point in time until women could actually go vote. At a certain point in time, women did, no, those conversations don't concern women. And it was not really cool, you know. And then some people made moves, and thankfully, it got accepted. And here we are. Women can vote. Several women organizations celebrate this day all over the world, and they work hard to provide equal opportunities to women in education and in employment. As we know, without women, don't worry about the existence of humans. No, we won't be here. And that's one of the arguments that was put forward. You know, women play very important roles, being the mother, being the wife, being the sister, being the confidant, being the advisor, being the doctor of the house, being the first aid provider, everything all in one. So please, you cannot just sideline women like that. Anyway, before the Civil War, the movement for women's suffrage was started. Most of the states in the U.S., that's a focus, by the 1830s have extended voting rights from rich white male property owners to just white men. And then during the time, there were civil rights movements like anti-slavery, temperance movements, moral movement. There were just a lot at the time. So it was not out of place that the movement for women to be able to vote and be voted for became a thing. The National Organization for Women called women to demonstrate equal rights for women, and nationwide strike for equality that happened. Well, at the end of the day, after all said and done, now we can vote and be voted for. Interesting move. Congratulations to you if you're a woman. August 26th is your day, especially those that vote. Those that have the right to vote and be voted for and actually use it. It's one thing to get a right passed, and it's another thing for people to use it. Some people have the right to vote now, but they don't vote anyway. You're disenfranchising yourself. It's you. That's on you, man. So you can't complain much if you're not getting the right leaders or the people that are in power are not doing what you want. That's because you didn't vote. So don't let the struggle be in vain, all right? That's the moral of the story. Don't let it be in vain. At a point in time, it was not even a thing. You couldn't even vote as a woman. Now you can vote. Why don't you take advantage of it? Why don't you do the right thing, by voting? And getting your PVC is not even the end of the matter. Some people get their PVCs because they want to use the numbers or because they want to use it as a means of identification. Get it and use it on the day of the election. Okay? Very important. It's also International Dog Day. You have a pet? You have a dog? Great. Snuggle up. The weather even allows it. I mean, those ones that you actually bathe regularly, that you feed well, not the ones that you leave, just to be your security guard. I mean, all dogs have rights, but, maybe you should be kinder, just in case. But then, of course, there are different species. Some, that's what they are. That's what the breed is about. Provide security and just make sure that everything is fine. For some others, they just snuggle up and y'all are just comfy and stuff. But either way, ensure that you take care of them. That's what's very important. Today is the day. Today is very important for every dog and every dog owner. Okay, so that's about the intro today. It's good to know. Something very important also happened today in Nigeria. Yeah, I'm going to try to see if I can take that quickly now. Okay. I don't know. Within the time that I have. Okay. So, on this day, the 26th day of August, long time ago, 1993, actually, the then head of state, Ibrahim Babangida, stepped down as Nigeria's military head of state. He announced that he will be stepping down as head of state, and then he appointed Ernest Shonekon as interim head of state. It was on this day. Yeah. Nigeria. The journey so far, right? Interesting. Oh, God. And then we can't talk about this day in history and not talk about the June 12 election. Yeah, it was 2 days ago. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago that we're celebrating the posthumous birthday of MKO Abiola. Anyway, that happened in history, yes, just to bring you up to speed with what's going on. All right, now, so let's see some stories, headlines. What's happening now, developing stories from around the world. We begin with Nigeria. Interesting story. So I saw the story and I'm like, yes, let's get started on it, shall we? There's the federal government and Japan and Israel coming together, signing a memorandum of understanding that they're going to start manufacturing electric smart automobiles. That's not just all. The Israeli rep to Nigeria said Nigeria is safe to invest in. Yes. Now, most times our own people were the ones who, talk down on our own and be like, hey, don't do this, don't do that. Everybody wants to leave. But come on, man. Nigeria is safe to invest. Anyway, Nigeria will commence assemblage and manufacturing of environmentally friendly, green, electric, and smart automobiles by the year 2023. That's just next year. No, next year is even far. That's just in a couple of months' time. Yeah, this is August already. August is winding down. So we have like September, October, November, December, like 4 months' time or thereabouts. Next year starts in 4 months' time. So it could be any part of next year, but we know that 2023, we're going to start that. The federal government of Nigeria, through the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, signed a memorandum of understanding with Israeli and Japanese companies for the commencement of the project. So speaking at the occasion, the Israeli ambassador to Nigeria, that's Michael Freeman, he said the partnership, which was a combination of Israeli, Japanese, and Nigerian technologies, would help address the many challenges that are affecting the transport and the environmental sectors in Nigeria. It is a project that is a partnership with Israeli, Japanese, and Nigerian companies taking place in Nigeria. What is special about this project is that it is timely. It's a timely project that combines Israeli technologies, Japanese technologies, Nigerian entrepreneurship, and innovation together to create a project that is going to work fabulously. Great stuff, right? We're looking forward to that. Any developing story is great right now. I assure you on that one. Fingers crossed. And then, you know what? That's not just all. It's not just about the excitement. Hey, it's going to happen. No. Let's also look at the other parts. It will offer people very cheap way and safe way of transportation. And even It will also ensure technology to ensure that the motorcycles are used for legal and appropriate purposes only. So you can't use them to, swerve, quote and unquote, to do stuff that are not legal. Not my words. It was the Israeli ambassador to Nigeria who said that. And I'm, taking his word for it. We're doing everything that we can to have a better society. Right now, to another story. The Nigeria GDP has dropped. The report on that one, it has dropped today, actually. National Bureau of Statistics has released another report, and it's showing that Nigeria's gross domestic product as a GDP grew by 3.54% year on year. That's in real terms in the second quarter of this 2022. So the growth indicated a decline from the 5.01% recorded in the second quarter of 2021, when the rapid growth was recorded following the toll that COVID-19 had on Nigeria, the rest of the world. It was a huge impact, especially from 2020, the second quarter of 2020. So according to the Nigerian GDP report of 2022 second quarter, which was posted on the NBS website, you could check it out if you have the time. You could check it out. It said the recent rising prices of goods and commodities have adversely impacted on the second quarter or the Q2 2022 performance. The growth rate in Q2 decreased by 1.47% from 5.01% growth rate, which was recorded in the second quarter of 2021. And there was an increase by 0.44%, which was relative to about 3.11% in the first quarter of 2022. Anyway, quarter on quarter, real GDP grew at minus 0.37% in the second quarter, reflecting lower economic activity compared to the preceding year. We'll be fine. We keep our head up. We keep going. And we know that everything will be fine at the end of the day. Let's just keep hoping. Yes, hope against hope. Anyway, have you been following? I know, yeah, you would have been following the story, so that's a no-brainer question. The NBC releasing a list of broadcast stations that will not be allowed to air because they were owing, they'd not renew their licenses and stuff. And then there was outcry. Different people say, why? Take it easy. That was too harsh. In fact, some states tried. They paid some monies, like those shut down yet, And then there was an extension. They said, okay, it was released on Friday, and they said by Monday of the following week, they were going to shut down those stations. But following the outcry, NBC relaxed small, and they said, okay, Tuesday, not Monday again. So Tuesday, they were going to shut down. Finally, today, we're getting update on that story. The National Broadcasting Commission has suspended the shutdown of the, broadcast stations that were indebted all over the country. 54 of them. A couple of state-owned broadcast stations, radio, TV, private-owned as well. Some of them, in fact, some of them were like the clickbaits for a lot of, mainstream print media online. Like, hey, these people have lost their license. Just mentioned those stations. But we eventually got to find out that it was not just 3 of them that were making headlines at the time. There were others, like 54 of them in total. Anyway, the regulatory agency, that's the NBC, said the decision to suspend its initial shutdown of the indebted stations followed the responses that they received from the affected stations. They didn't just go and sleep. The NBC Director General, Balarabe Shehu Ilela, announced the suspension today in a statement. Okay? Today, the announcement came. NBC hinged its directive on debts that were incurred by the broadcasting organizations amounting to at least 2.6 billion naira. But in a statement today, NBC boss maintained that positive responses received from the debtor licensees, including big players in the industry, was responsible for the temporary suspension. This is what the statement says. It says, sequel to a follow-up meeting held with executives of the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria and other critical stakeholders in the industry, the Commission has decided to temporarily, as the case may be, suspend the shutdown of the indebted broadcast stations all over the country. We express our profound appreciation to the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, the affected licensees, broadcast stakeholders for their responses and intervention. We specifically thank Dar Communications and Silverbird TV and Rhythm FM for their responses. Yeah. The Commission is not unaware of the difficulties that this shutdown may have caused the operators and other stakeholders, but we must state that the Commission will always operate within the MBC Act Cap N11, Laws of the Federation 2004. Whew. Pretty long one, but at the end of the day, there's been a suspension. Temporary though, but hey, it's suspended. Yes, thankfully so. So that's the update on that matter. Until further information comes, this temporary could be from any time to any time. Could be for months, could be for years. Remember that the report that the NBC even gave, it said some of these stations, like the debt goes way back as 2006. Some of them have not renewed their licenses since 2006, the last time they renewed. Yeah, so this temporal suspension could be any time. But whatever the case, we wish them the best. Remember that story from Akwa Ibom State of a young man who was, sentenced to correctional center for contempt of court, and there have been responses from MBA, from lawyers, from people across Nigeria. Yes, finally, he has come out of the Uyo Correctional Center. Inibehe Efyong, that's his name, human rights lawyer. He came out 1 month after he was sent to prison by the Akwa Ibom Chief Judge Ekaite Obot for contempt of court. He was seen giving a heroic welcome march by a team of supporters. That time, people were like, why send him to prison just for contempt of court? In fact, I saw stories, of course, conversations like this, you have two parts or two sides of reaction. Some people express themselves to say the Akwa Ibom Chief Judge Ekaite Obot reserves the right to choose what is contempt of court to him. And some people are like, the crime did not fit the punishment. Maybe it was a little too hasty or too rash. Anyway, it was July 27 that the whole go to correctional center conversation started. So the lawyer posted a video on his Facebook today, and he captioned it, "History will vindicate the just." That was the caption. The story, it says, good. Well, it's okay. Let me not say anything. So he served the first 2 weeks of his 30-day sentence at the Ikotekpene Custodial Center of the Nigeria Correctional Service. Ikotekpene reminds me of one of those books we read in primary school. Agbo is in the town of, which is not far from Ibadan. He went to primary school. Oh, no. Is that debts? No, Agbo. Yeah, there's another book on debts. Anyway, okay, back to the story. I need to concentrate. He was later transferred to Uyo Custodial Center to serve the remaining days. Well, in case you don't know, Effiong was reportedly abused by prison officials. They said they shaved his hair and his beard. Said he cannot join beard gang again. Anyway, he further posted something. On another post on his social media, he said, "I am back, stronger and more determined to confront the forces of oppression and to continue to speak nothing but the hard truth to the face of the oppressors of our people. I feel sorry for those who thought they can break my spirit by incarcerating me." Meanwhile, the Attorney General of the state, Uko Udom, had said that the judge had the power to decide contempt. Remember that? I mentioned that earlier. Said he decides what is and what will be. Okay. That's about that story. There's an update on Hush Puppy. Yes. The United States Attorney's Office for Central District of California, Los Angeles, has confirmed that Ramon Abbas, the one everybody knows, I can't say everybody, the one a lot of people know as Hush Puppy, will be sentenced on September 21, next month. Give and take, a month away from now. Yeah. So it was actually disclosed exclusively to Channels Television via email by the court's Director of Media Relations today. So Hush Puppy's sentence date had been moved 3 times. There was supposed to be February 14, Remember that? Valentine's Day, same day as we started strike in Nigeria. Yeah, that's what I use as a reminder. It was supposed to be on the same day. It was supposed to be a sentencing of Hush Puppy. But then it didn't work. Then it was postponed to July 11. And then now we have September 21 as the day that he will get the sentence. So the court official, Tom Rozek, said Hush Puppy, who had pleaded guilty to the alleged $1.1 million fraud last year, is currently scheduled to be sentenced by a federal judge in Los Angeles come September 21 of this year. Yeah, so don't get it twisted. 93.7 Citizen FM, 4:35 p.m. It is the 26th day of August 2022. Not so great report from Abuja, Kubwa, Axis. God, I heard that story earlier. It's a really sad one in case you didn't hear about it. There's been a report of a 3-story building collapsing. And what's worse is that there are people trapped in the rubble. There were people trapped in the rubble, because update from the site has it that some people have been rescued and have been taken to hospital. Yes, the incident happened in the early hours of Friday. That's today. The building was still under construction, but some artisans were living, in the same building, and then somehow it just collapsed. Anyway, thankfully, the disaster management team of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, rescued some of the victims and took them to the General Hospital in Kubwa there. So, how they faring? We're hoping that, they be fine as soon as possible. I mean, all of them. No death. No death recorded. We didn't see any update on anybody dying yet. I hope that remains so. But so far, so good. Everyone affected has been, taken to a hospital. Really sad. This is so sad, because there's always conversation about materials used for building. Since we're not even exactly prone to natural disasters as earthquakes and all of those other things, main contention would just be products that are used. I know when there were, repeated incidences from Lagos, there were meetings, there were probes, and one of the top burner recommendation was that homeowners should be mindful of the products that some of these artisans use. And sometimes it's not even the fault of the homeowners. Sometimes again, emphasis on sometimes, these artisans tend to want to be coy or smart. They could give you an estimate of, you need say for instance 50 bags of cement. You give them the money and then they end up buying less, so they could just pocket some money. The effect of this is these people could make urgent, quick cash, real quick cash, but the effect is to be seen. Sometimes we just need to do better as a people. It's not every time we blame the federal government for some of the issues that we see. Sometimes we are even our own problems. Well, that's just, by the way, I'm not saying that that's exactly why that situation happened in Kubwa. No. Further information on that particular incident will be released as soon as possible. But further now, I'm saying that to avoid occurrences as this one in the Federal Capital Territory or any part of Nigeria, for that matter, we could start by doing the right thing. Let the world see. Let your light shine everywhere you are. That thought process just led me to that song by Cobams and Bez. Do the right thing, let the world see. Anyway, some other update. I saw another update from Abuja, but I'll take a break at this time. When I return, I'll bring more news to you. Stay with us. It is 93.7 Citizen FM.
This is our journey. We've had our finest moments and our darkest hours. Yet we pull ourselves back from the brink every time. We are a resilient people. We are Nigeria. And when we talk, we share our views on Talk Radio 93.7, Citizen FM. A people united will never be defeated.
4:40, that's what the time is. I don't know, I just remembered running 4:40. Yeah, but anyway, that's not the story. The report on another story from Abuja I'm trying to find right now. I can't see yet, but I believe before we round off, I'll be able to, fetch that story to you. So another great news, UBEC is planning to, unveil smart schools in Nigeria. Now Nigeria is talking about infrastructural deficit, like all the sectors, but that's not what we're focusing on. Let's focus on the good story. It's not easy. The Universal Basic Education Commission, that's UBEC, have said that, hey, there's great news in the working. And that's we're introducing commendable example. I have to say that, yeah, commendable example. Smart school program. The money that would go up will be about 21.6 billion naira, which is about to take off across the country. So the program entails building and equipping the schools across the country with modern infrastructural and vocational materials. So it won't just be about rounding off school, and then you start looking for a job. The thing is, as you are in school, you're also learning new stuff. Modern infrastructure, vocational training, yeah, that will be happening pari passu. Yeah. So it was the executive secretary of UBEC, Dr. Hamid Boboyi, who made this revelation when he said the commission has commenced the development of course outline and content for the training of education managers. There's going to be training for teachers. There's going to be training for technical support personnel and other stakeholders for the schools and e-learning programs. So we are hitting the ground running. It's not going to be business as usual. I hope that this is the light of day. I really do hope. I believe it will. Yeah, I do believe so. Anyway, so it won't be, we've heard stories where some people took exams and then they did not pass. I've heard reports from different state teachers taking tests and then they didn't pass. No, this one now, we're not even going to risk that. We're not going to be having that conversation. What we're going to be doing is, to be part of this project, you would have to undergo training for education managers, training for teachers, training for technical support personnel and other stakeholders. With the amount that has been pegged for this project, I believe that can be done. 21.6 billion naira. Yeah. Anyway, UBEC boss added that the program will ensure full implementation of e-learning programs in the basic education across the country. That's also a way of recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown and closure of schools. Well, as much as we're trying to recover from that, we'd also have to take home some lessons. We're actually exposed to how well we can do, or how much we could what's the word now I'm looking for, how well we could take advantage of this lockdown thing or sit at home thing. So now e-learning has become front burner option. Yeah, great stuff. He explained that the buildings are of ultra modern standard, different from the usual buildings that you find in schools this day. There's a lot that's going to be happening. I am excited. I hope that you are too, because I am. Yeah, and I believe very strongly that my excitement will not be, thwarted. I believe so. Anyway, to other exciting stories. NAFDAC. You see that report I brought? Like, when was that? Last week. It must have been last week. Maybe round off of last week or earlier this week. I'm trying to remember when. But the story is that NAFDAC is going on with this clamp down on manufacturers and distributors of illicit herbal drugs. That day I had a full-blown conversation about, I had a full-blown talk, not necessarily conversation because I was alone in the studio. How these people tell you that you're buying herbal medicine or drugs or whatever it is. Meanwhile, they contain substances that should not even be consumed by humans. And guess where their target market always is? Social media. Well, it is alarming, the circulation of illicit herbal intoxicants in Nigeria. So, following that, the NAFDAC DG has said they will commence a nationwide clampdown on all manufacturers and distributors of herbal preparations laced with high concentration of tobacco, cocaine, and cannabis. Now, there was a research done before this particular story was put out, and it shows that there is a trend. And the trend shows in the use of substances laced with a high concentration of tobacco and sometimes cannabis among Nigerians of all gender and of all age group. That's what's worse. That is what is worse. Yes, pun intended. That's what's worse. The age group. You give everybody and anybody. Gender notwithstanding. Can we be kind to ourselves? You know what you're selling is not good for health, but you do it anyway because you want to make money. And then you come out and say, the government did what now? Okay. Anyway, Mojisola Adeyeye, who is DG of NAFDAC, of course, said other herbal preparations like kurkura and some other names I don't want to mention right now include aphrodisiac that is laced with cannabis, jabata alcoholic bitters laced with marijuana, cannabis combined have been linked to damaging health consequences and ultimately death. Do you want to have conversations on what the effect of these have on your kidney, your liver, and other parts of your body, even your brain? Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Okay. Let's move on from that story. I really, from the depth of my being, I wish NAFDAC the very best on this venture because, please, it's about time. It's about time. Okay, so I was going to take this story earlier, but it just got mumbled up. I didn't find it early, so I had to move on. But now I'm back on it. When I was taking the story about, UBEC announcing money that they have set aside to, take on school project like smart schools across Nigeria. Reports from Akwa Ibom State has it that the state government is trying to debunk a recent report that was on social media claiming that government is not oblivious of its poor record on out-of-school children. So the Commissioner for Education, Mrs. Idongesit Ichebet, in a statement made available to newsmen said, the performance of the state in the 2022 West African Examinations Council was not as poor as was being reported across the media. Echebe described the report as misleading, that it was false, that it was mischievous, that it was politically motivated, that she's urging the public to please disregard that information. It is not true. The WAEC report from that city is not as bad as they're painting it to be. Anyway, whatever rocks their boat. She stressed that the claim on out-of-school children in the state did not reflect the remarkable progress that the state has made in regards to education in the state. In fact, putting 7 years ago in perspective, like in the last 7 years, according to her, they've made tremendous progress in the state. Okay. Great news. So if you ever saw that story, I'm sure we didn't take it here on News Roundup. Nope. Nope. I didn't take it here. But if you ever saw that story, there's an official statement on that right now, and she's saying, hey, that's not true. It's a lie. Whatever you saw, do not take it hook, line, and sinker. In fact, you take it with a pinch of salt. Okay, my God, I need to take a break at this time. Alrighty, stay with me. Don't go nowhere. I think I have one or two more stories. Okay, I have a couple of more stories to take before we round off today. It is 93.7 Citizen FM, and I am Didi. I just saw his M1 now. He's around. I wonder what the gods have for us today. Stay with us.
Citizen FM Abuja. Yeah.
Once upon a time, for one village where they for air, everything they go well. Them they enjoy better things until them great grandpillar them tell them say he get one secret where they for inside calabash, for inside bush. Elders them gather, them send them more inter bush, impact in Ngongo and then Janja take inside bush. When you see the calabash, where them papa hide for inside bush. Time to open the calabash. Is a more hard than knack. Last, in open the calabash. What's in me the secret where you come see?
Now let's run your love, As we bring them out, Abuja, how far? Hashtag man up, tab yarns, mind your language. That's here, and the plenty casual bitterness mixed with correct Naija song. Now them they inside Evening Your Love with SMO1 Radio Street for 93.7 Citizen FM, Abuja. Flex Evening Your Love, Monday to Friday from 5 o'clock for evening, go reach 9 o'clock for night. Evening Your Love with SMO1 for 93.7 Citizen FM.
Abuja, plus including our surrounding areas. The freshest family magazine Jollyman program. When the Sabias waiting they play. Don't tell for una Bonga Radio, Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. And you know what? Una freshest Owerri tomatoes. Night and that to the give una fresh story. We go take you back memory lane. Plus including make your belly be sugar industry. For waiting they play, no dull moment from the beginning to the end of the 1 hour program. Waiting they play with the freshest Owerri tomatoes every Saturday and Sunday, 12 noon to 1 p.m. for Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. Waiting they play. Sit down, listen, hear waiting they play.
93.7 Citizen FM.
With just 5 minutes to go, I have to take the stories as fast as I can. 5 more minutes and I'll be out of here. Okay, so this is the story from Abuja that I wanted to take earlier, but I couldn't find. Okay, so it was an update on the report from EFCC and their job so far. They said they've arrested 10 suspected internet fraudsters. So it was a statement by the spokesperson of EFCC, Wilson Owojaren, that confirmed the story. He said the suspects were arrested in a sting operation at various locations in Kubwa and Gwarimpa area of Abuja for alleged involvement in cyber fraud. Among items recovered from them, they said they had mobile phones on them, they had laptop computers, of course, to be seen, right? And then luxury cars, you know, CLA 250, Mercedes-Benz GLK 350, and Avenza. Anyway, they'll be charged to court as soon as the investigations are concluded, and I'm hoping that there are no, counter allegations on this one, because sometimes stories like this, and then you see someone come up and say, "Hey, we're just taken out of our houses," and the next thing we're seeing our faces on on different social media platforms saying that EFCC arrested us for fraud. But I know that the assignment was duly done. But he has also said that further investigations will be carried out. So we're hoping to see the last of that. Maybe we could take a story from the world of sports and their roundup, right? Okay, so we know that NFF have been in the conversation. When are they going to do the elections? What's going to happen? The timetable generally. Well, there's been a timetable. Yeah, timetable has been released for the elections. Not that the election is actually supposed to hold on the 30th of September in Edo. Right. So the election will now see a new administration take over the Amaju Pinnick administration that has held sway on Nigerian football for 8 years. He's been boss for like 8 years. Anyway, according to the committee, the electoral process will begin on Monday. That will be August 29. Today's 26th, so yeah, in a few days' time. There will be sales of nomination forms, there will be endorsements and return of forms, and then that will span until the 8th of September 2022. That's next month. So the screening of candidates has been fixed for Friday, 9 and 10 of September, with a short list of successful candidates to be announced on the 12th of the Electoral Committee, or by the Electoral Committee. Yeah, there's going to be an announcement by the Electoral Committee. And, of course, provisions have also been made for petitions against the procedure generally. And the window to file the petition has been slated for Monday, September 12th, and Thursday, September 15th. If you think you are not comfortable or this schedule does not sit well with you, please proceed to court. File for petition against the procedure. So there's room for that. But after these days, don't bother. Yeah, don't bother. The days again, 12th of September and September 15th. So the hearing of the appeals is fixed for Friday 16th and Saturday 17th at noon daily. Then the final list of the successful candidates will then be released on September 19th, with the campaigns of the successful candidates to commence on September 20. And by the end of midnight on Thursday 29, ahead of the election, Then the election proper will hold on September 30. I like the rundown of things. Anyway, maybe something, just one story from the world of entertainment. I know, right? I'm supposed to be rounding off. But I couldn't leave without mentioning this story of this guy who's doing, I don't know, quote unquote, exploits. Nick Cannon. Hey. Anyway, he's expecting his 9th child number 9. From his 3rd baby mama. It was on Instagram. He posted a video, and in the video, the baby mama and their children was seen posing for photos during a maternity shoot. So there's a lineup. Like the story is not that he's expecting his 10th child. The story is that he's expecting a couple of children from different women within a very short window. Yeah. You could check that out. It's not me. You could just check that out. Anyway, that will be about it today. 93.7 Citizen FM. Thank you very much for staying with us. I'm out of here. Oh no, I'm not out of here, like out of here. Top of the hour, I will be back with news from the Federal Capital Territory. And then, right after that, Ezemo will be hitting you with Evening Jollof. Stay with us.
This is our journey. We've had our finest moments and our darkest hours. Yet we pull ourselves back from the brick every time. We are a resilient people. We are Nigeria. And when we talk, we share our views on Talk Radio 93.7 Citizen FM.